What's going on, people? It's your boy, the Boxing Lowdown, and I'm back here with another video. Now, as always, people, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Feel free to drop a comment if you like, and I'll happily get back to you. Now, I actually heard this rumor a couple of days ago. I know it came out fully yesterday, but a couple of days ago, I got a text from my dad. He's very close with some people within the boxing circles, and there were rumors floating around that Daniel Dubois had fired Don Charles, or Daniel Dubois' team, should I say, had sacked John Charles, and it started to create more gathering, more movement. It got louder, the rumors, and yeah, it was confirmed yesterday via Daniel Dubois' social media that they have now parted ways with Don Charles, who was the former trainer of Daniel Dubois. We do know that there has been some changes made to that team. We know that Sam Jones has now come in and is taking care of the management duties for Daniel Dubois. And it was also confirmed yesterday. Was it yesterday or today? Well, yesterday or today. But it was confirmed that Tony Sims will be now stepping in as trainer for Daniel Dubois. So, what do I make about all of this? Well, Don Charles, he was with Daniel Dubois since, I believe, 2023, and he's been part of the renaissance. He's been part of the Daniel Dubois comeback in terms of him racking up these impressive wins following his first defeat to Alexander Usyk. I mean, he defeated the likes of Jarrell Miller, Philip Hergovich, Anthony Joshua, all very impressive wins before losing to Alexander Usyk again. So, there was a lot of discussion around Daniel Dubois' defeat to Alexander Usyk the second time round. And if you guys haven't seen it, a quick plug, I did a vlog on that fight. It's a very good vlog as well. I'll link it to the end of the video. Make sure you guys watch it. It's a very good vlog. I was there. But listen, there was a lot of discussion about Daniel Dubois' preparation ahead of that second Alexander Usyk fight. And I'm sure you've seen the videos where he was in a house and there was a gathering, so to speak, of 70 odd people. And this was on the day of the fight, and the video was released probably like a day or two after, and it didn't look good. Do you know what I mean? The optics did not look good at all. Then there were rumors, of course, well, not rumors, this is true. There was actually the story of Daniel Dubois' team heading to the arena. They were late, and then, they weren't all allowed entry in terms of the entourage. And then Stan Dubois, who's Daniel Dubois' dad, was threatening to pull Daniel Dubois out of the fight if they didn't allow the entourage in. Now, this is just madness, absolute madness. You know what I mean? And it's been heavily criticized amongst the boxing public. And you know what? Don Charles, after all of this, he's looked at as the fall guy. He's the one that's now been, taken off the team and has been part of the changes in that Team Dubois camp. So, listen, it's unfortunate for Don Charles. I don't think he's as culpable as it might seem from the outside. First of all, he wasn't even at that gathering. He even confirmed it himself on Talksport. So he had nothing to do with that. It just seems like, it's the elephant in the room when it comes to Team Dubois. Everybody knows it. People are even saying it. You know what I mean? It's not like people are afraid to say it, but there's a lot more issues around that team than just Don Charles. Do you know what I mean? But Don Charles was always going to be the fall guy. It's no surprise that they've got rid of him, to be honest. And now Tony Sims steps in, which, I was pretty surprised that Tony Sims has agreed to step in here. I guess we'll see. I mean, Daniel Dubois is a very talented heavyweight. He's one of the best in the world. He's a former world champion, and I'm sure over time he'll pick up another world title. I mean, he's only 27 years old. So there's a lot of potential there for Daniel Dubois. And I'm sure, of course, you'd like to be involved with it, but it's just everything around it. It's just a mess. Do you know what I mean? The dad is heavily involved, living his life vicariously through his son. And anyone that steps into that team there is going to have to deal with that. No matter what anyone says, no matter how they try to gloss it over, like Sam Jones was doing on Talksport yesterday, you're going to have to deal with that. And there's been a lot of, it just hasn't looked good from the outside looking in. Do you know what I mean? So we'll see. Time will tell. I mean, I'd like to hear, I don't know if Tony Sims has done an interview on this yet, but I'm sure he will at some point. But trainers in the past have worked with Team Dubois and they've had to leave. Do you know what I mean? Because they couldn't, deal with all of the demands of his father, who is very heavily involved in that team, which I don't have an issue with. Do you know what I mean? I mean, he is his dad. He's obviously, when you look at the positives, he has done well. Do you know, he's raised kids that are all, Caroline Dubois, young Solomon Dubois, who's on the come up. But Caroline Dubois, she is turned into a very good professional herself. Daniel Dubois is a former world champion, and young Solomon Dubois is, creating a lot of noise in the amateur circuit right now. So he is doing good with his kids in terms of their development and, how well they're doing in boxing. But there is that, and then there is, going overboard in terms of almost living your life vicariously through your own son. Because this whole gathering that took place on the day of the fight, they're going to point out and say that, this happened with AJ as well. And, look what happened in that fight. But from when I heard that Daniel Dubois had to leave this party, he didn't know everybody at that party, and then he had to leave to go for a drive. That tells me something different, that he didn't plan this. Do you know what I mean? He's just kind of acceptant of it, and just whatever his dad wants, he gets. So I don't know. Listen, I'm not part of Team Dubois. It's got nothing to do with me. I'm only here to just give my opinion on it. And yeah, this is being freely expressed within the boxing circles. Do you know what I mean? So we'll see how this new team works out. It'll be interesting to see when Daniel Dubois does come back. It'll probably be what, we're in August now, so I'm guessing maybe at best towards the end of the year or early next year. But we'll see. We'll see. I'm looking forward to seeing who he could go up against, because the heavyweight division, man, there are so many names. There are so many names in there right now to fight. Do you know what I mean? Whether it's a domestic fight, it could still be big, or whether you go worldwide. I mean, there are names everywhere. So maybe if he's not going to go in with, like, the more difficult touch, maybe a Joe Joyce rematch could be, a useful one for Dubois to come back to. That would make sense. I mean, he would definitely beat Joe Joyce now. So maybe he could look into that, but time will tell. I guess we'll see what happens. They've still got to meet with Frank Warren, and then I'm sure that that's when they'll set out a plan for their future. But yeah, the main topic of this story is Daniel Dubois and Team Dubois have fired Don Charles. They've brought in Tony Sims, and yeah, they're now looking ahead in terms of future fights. And I guess time will tell as to when that will happen. So let me know your thoughts about this in the comment section below. People would love to hear what you think about it, and I'll catch you on the next video.